So if you have a targeted image, can you then find the right people on those networks and pull them into whatever your advertising or marketing goal is?
Mark, if I understood part of your question was that, a lot of the platforms are very different. So for Facebook and LinkedIn, there's a high degree of targeting we can do. Not just with the paid platform and our ability to segment, messaging down through the paid channel, which is essentially content through the paid channel. But increasingly, even in the content publishing in Facebook, we have the ability to kind of to segment and target content to particular geographies and to particular, all the demographics that we have controls over. Tumblr, as an example, doesn't have that yet. Doesn't have that, period. I don't actually know if yet is the right word to add, because I know they have a sensibility about kind of going that deep into the kind of segmenting their audience and giving those controls to brands. We'll see. But, in Tumblr, the name of the game is a lot more about, drawing people in through relevancy, really understanding or to the best of your abilities what content, whether it be visual or any other content, really, really resonates with, 20-some-odd males versus 45-year-old moms and so forth and so on. So I think there will be continuing pressure on us as marketers to understand what is really relevant to different people who have different needs, and the pressure will be on us to create the stuff that they value most. It can't just be stuff that tells our brand story the best. And I think the pressure's on us to get a lot more data-driven, which we are. I mean, a lot. It's almost crazy how much we're all scrambling to kind of not to make sense out of how to use data to create content as well as to deliver it. And the best example there, and then I'll shut up, is that a pretty routine practice for us is to understand what particular people, moms, let's say, are searching for in Google, and what they're sharing in social media, what they're saying publicly in social media around needs around, I don't know, baby food, for instance. And that gives us the cues to actually create content, much of which is visual, videos, imagery, but other content as well, that directly meets their stated needs, is what their intention has been kind of expressed through Google search and through what they're saying online. And it's not about gaming the system in any way. It's completely the opposite. It's about kind of religiously listening to what people want and then doing our best to create the content that's going to be most helpful to them. So anyhow, that's my data-driven.
That's actually something that sort of strikes a big chord with me, because when I read a lot of the guys I think are influential, the social thing should be about listening and responding. And if you're going to put content into a space, whether that's your platform like on Facebook or whether it's a hashtag, it should be information that answers questions that are being asked in that space in a very sort of real-time sense.
So how closely who work with our designers?
That your people who are doing community management and social media, or how are they collaborating with your designers and co-authors?
Yeah, it's a great question actually, because it's a whole new dynamic, right? We have community directors. It's a small kind of refinement on the job title, if you will, but it basically signifies that they have a lot more authority and responsibility in managing the business outcome of a Facebook community or whatever, Twitter followership or whatnot. So long story short is that the community directors, the guys and gals who are actually managing those communities, are kind of like orchestra conductors of content. So they work very closely with the designers. They are the people that translate feedback about what's working and what's resonating best in the marketplace. We see that with our Nescafe Facebook page, a global page, which is managed out of our team in Frankfurt, actually. So the community director will sit down with designers based on working with a content calendar, of course, and it's collaborative. There's a place like Ogilvy. I mean, there's a lot of creative heritage and let's just say authority amongst the designers, the writers, and so forth and so on that make up the kind of creative core here. So it's been a journey for us to build a new collaborative behavior between those community directors and those creatives. So long answer, but essentially a very hot topic for us.